Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So this is Pramod and this is another CompTIA Security Plus Real Exam Question series, and this series is very helpful to pass the Security Plus exam. So let's go to the questions, and this is a question. A company's web filter is configured to scan the URL for strings and deny access when matches are found. So which of the following such strings should an analyst employ to prohibit access to non-encrypted websites? Option A, encryption equal to off. Option B, https semicolon to slash. Option C, www.star.com. Option D, to semicolon 443. And the correct answer for this question is option B, https semicolon to slash. Explanation for this answer is this string indicates an encrypted connection, as HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is the standard protocol for encrypted web traffic. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, an engineer needs to find a solution that creates an added layer of security by preventing unauthorized access to internal company resources. So which of the following would be the best solution? Option A, RDP server. Option B, jump server. Option C, proxy server. Option D, hypervisor. And the correct answer for this question is option B, jump server. So let's check the explanation. And the explanation is a jump server acts as a secure intermediary system, allowing authorized users to access internal networks from a less secure external network while maintaining strict controls and isolation. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, jump server. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, several employees received fraudulent text messages from someone claiming to be the chief executive officer CEO. The message stated, I'm in an airport right now with no access to email. I need you to buy gift cards for employee recognition awards. Please send the gift cards to following email address. So which of the following are the best responses to this situation? So choose two out of these options. Option A, cancel current employee recognition gift cards. Option B, add a smishing exercise to the annual company training. Option C, issue a general email warning to the company. Option D, have the CEO change phone numbers. Option E, conduct a forensic investigation on the CEO's phone. Option F, implement mobile device management. So correct answer for these questions are option B and C. So let's check the explanation for this answer. So the best responses are to be B, add a smishing exercise to the annual company's training, and C, issue a general email warning to the company. So adding a training exercise prepares employees to recognize similar attacks in the future, while a general warnings help prevent further employees from falling victim to the scam by immediately alerting them to the threat. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B and C. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, a company is required to use certified hardware when building networks. So which of the following best addresses the risk associated with procuring counterfeit hardware? Option A, a thorough analysis of the supply chain. Option B, a legally enforceable corporate acquisition policy. Option C, a right to audit clause in vendor contracts and system of work orders. Option D, an in-depth penetration test of all suppliers and vendors. And the correct answer for this question is option C, a right to audit clause in vendor contracts and SOWs. So let's check the explanation. So right to audit clause allows the company to verify the authenticity of hardware and the vendor supply chain, directly addressing the risks of counterfeit products. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following provides the details about the terms of a test with a third-party penetration tester? Option A, rules of engagement. Option B, supply chain analysis. Option C, right to audit clause. Option D, due diligence. And the correct answer for this question is option A, rules of engagement. So let's check the explanation. The rules of engagement outline the specific parameters and guidelines for a penetration test, including the scope, objectives, authorized methods, timelines, and other important details that govern the testing process. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, rules of engagement. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a penetration tester begins an engagement by performing port and service scans against the client environment according to the rules of engagement. So which of the following reconnaissance types is the tester performing? Option A, active. Option B, passive. Option C, defensive. Option D, offensive. And the correct answer for this question is option A, active. So let's check the explanation. The explanation is, this involves directly interacting with the target system to gather information, like performing port scans to identify open services. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, active. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following is required for an organization to properly manage its restore process in the event of system failure? Option A, IRP. Option B, DRP. Option C, RPO. Option D, SDLC. And the correct answer for this question is option B, DRP. So let's check the explanation. So DRP, a disaster recovery plan, outlines the procedures and protocols an organization should follow to recover and restore critical systems and data after a disaster event, such as a system failure. This plan includes details on how to access backups, restore systems, and minimize downtime. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, DRP. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following vulnerabilities is associated with installing software outside of a manufacturer's approved software repository? Option A, jailbreaking. Option B, memory injection. Option C, resource reuse. Option D, side loading. And the correct answer for this question is option D, side loading. So let's check the explanation. The vulnerability associated with the installing software outside of a manufacturer's approved software repository is side loading, and side loading refers to installing applications from unofficial sources, bypassing the security checks of the official app store, which can introduce malicious software onto a device. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, side loading. So let's move to the next question. A security analyst is reviewing the following logs. First log is login rejected on 10 a.m. Username administrator password springs 2023. Next log is 10:01 a.m. login rejected username Jesmith password spring 2023. Third log is on 10:02 a.m. login rejected username guest password spring 2023. Next login rejected username Spalk password spring 2023. Last login is rejected username F Martin password spring 2023. So which of the following attacks is most likely occurring? Option A, password spraying. Option B, account forgery. Option C, pass the hash. Option D, brute force. And the correct answer for this question is option A, password spraying. So password spraying is a type of brute force attack that attempts many different passwords against a single username rather than trying all combinations against one username. And the logs likely shows multiple failed login attempts with the same username but different passwords, which aligns with the characteristics of a password spraying attacks. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, password spraying. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, an analyst is evaluating the implementation of zero trust principles within the data plane. Which of the following would be the most relevant for the analyst to evaluate? Option A, secured zones. Option B, subject role. Option C, adaptive identity. Option D, threat scope reduction. And the correct answer for this question is option D, threat scope reduction. And explanation is, zero trust emphasizing minimizing the potential impact of a breach by restricting access and isolating sensitive data. This aligns with the concept of threat scope reduction, where the goal is to limit the attacker's ability to move laterally within the network and access critical assets. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, threat scope reduction. And this is a question. A security administrator would like to protect data on employees' laptops. So which of the following encryption techniques should that security administrator use? Option A, partition. Option B, asymmetric. Option C, full disk. Option D, database. And the correct answer for this question is option C, full disk encryption. And the explanation is full disk encryption encrypts the entire hard drive, include operating system, files, and applications, providing comprehensive protection against unauthorized access if the laptop is lost or stolen. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, full disk. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following security control types does an acceptable use policy best represent? Option A, detective. Option B, compensating. Option C, corrective. Option D, preventive. And the correct answer for this question is option D, preventive. So let's check the explanation, and the explanation is an acceptable use policy AUP is a preventive security control, and AUPs define acceptable and unacceptable behaviors for users, aiming to prevent security issues by setting clear guidance and expectations regarding how users should interact with company technology, thereby reducing the risk of breaches or misuse. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, preventive. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, a company needs to provide administrative access to internal resources while minimizing the traffic allowed through the security boundary. So which of the following methods is most secure? Option A, implementing a base station host. Option B, deploying a perimeter network. Option C, installing a WAF. Option D, utilizing single sign-on. And the correct answer for this question is option A, implementing a Western host. So let's check the explanation. The most secure method to provide administrative access to internal resources while minimizing traffic allowed through the security boundary is by implementing a Western host. So Western host a hardened server position on the perimeter of a network designed to be the only accessible point for external users to access internal systems. It acts as a single point of entry, allowing for strict authentication and access controls before granting access to the internal network, minimizing exposure. So that's why the correct answer is A, implementing a Bastion host. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a security analyst is reviewing alerts in the SIM related to potential malicious network traffic coming from an employee's corporate laptop. The security analyst has determined that additional data about the executable running on the machine is necessary to continue the investigation. So which of the following logs should the analyst use as a data source? Option A, application. Option B, IPS/IDS. Option C, network. Option D, endpoint. And the correct answer for this question is option D, endpoint. So let's check the explanation. So endpoint logs, these logs capture detailed information about activity directly on the endpoint device, like the employee's laptop. So including information about running processes, file system access, registry changes, and network connections. This provides the analyst with the most granular details about the executable running on the machine, so allowing them to identify potential malicious behavior. So that's why the correct answer is D, endpoint. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, during a security incident, the security operations team identifies sustained network traffic from a malicious IP address 10.1.4.9. A security analyst is creating an inbound firewall rule to block the IP address from accessing the organization's network. So which of the following fulfills this request? Option A, access late inbound deny IP source 0.0.0/0 and destination IP is 10.1.4.9/32. Option B is access list inbound deny IP source 10.1.4.9/32 and destination IP is 0.0.0.0/0. Option C is access lit inbound permit IP source 10.1.4.9/32 and a destination 0.0.0.0/0. And option D is access list inbound permit IP source 0.0.0/0 and the destination IP is 10.1.4.9/32. And the correct answer for this question is option B, access list inbound deny IP source 10.1.4.9/32 and the destination IP is 0.0.0.0/0. So explanation is the access list inbound. This specifies that the rule applies to incoming traffic to the network, and deny IP. This indicates that the rule is designed to block traffic from a specific IP address. Source 10.1.4.9/32. So this identifies the malicious IP address that should be blocked, and the destination 0.0.0/0. This means the rule applies to any destination IP address as the goal is to block traffic originating from the malicious IP address regardless of where it is going. So that's why the correct answer is B. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a cyber operations team informs a security analyst about a new tactic malicious actors are using to compromise its network. So seems alerts have not been configured. So which of the following best describes what the security analyst should do to identify this behavior? Option A, digital forensics. Option B, e-discovery. Option C, incident response. Option D, threat hunting. And the correct answer for this question is option D, threat hunting. So let's check the explanation. So threat hunting is the proactive process of actively searching for potential threats within a network rather than passively waiting for alerts to trigger. Since the scene is not yet configured, the security analyst needs to actively seek out of signs of malicious activity using various techniques and tools. So this aligns with the definition of threat hunting. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, threat hunting. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, a company purchased cyber insurance to address item listed on the risk register. So which of the following strategies does this represent? Option A, accept. Option B, transfer. Option C, mitigate. Option D, avoid. That's why the correct answer for this question is option B, transfer. So the transfer, when a company buys cyber insurance, they are essentially transferring the financial risk of a cyber attack to the insurance company. This is the most accurate answer to the question, as the company shifting the potential cost associated with cyber insurance to avoid a third party. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, transfer. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, an IT manager informs the entire help desk staff that only the IT manager and the help desk lead will have access to the administrator console of the help desk software. So which of the following security techniques is the IT manager setting up? Option A, hardening. Option B, employee monitoring. Option C, configuration enforcement. Option D, list privilege. And the correct answer for this question is option D, list privilege. So explanation is, the list privilege, the security principle means granting users only the minimum level of access needed to perform their job functions. By restricting access to the administrator console of the help desk software to only the IT manager and the help desk lead, the IT manager is effectively applying the least privilege principles. This minimizes the risks of unauthorized access and misuse of sensitive functions. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, least privilege. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following is the most likely to be used to document risk? responsible parties, and thresholds. Option A, risk tolerance. Option B, risk transfer. Option C, risk register. And option D, risk analysis. And the correct answer for this question is option C, risk register. So let's check the explanation, and the explanation is a risk register is a dedicated tool for tracking and recording all identified risks within an organization, including details like their potential impact, responsible individuals, and triggering thresholds for action. That's why the correct answer is C, risk register. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following should a security administrator adhere to when setting up a new set of firewall rules? Option A, disaster recovery plan. Option B, incident response procedure. Option C, business continuity plan. Option D, change management procedure. And the correct answer for this question is change management procedure. So let's check the explanation. So security administrator should adhere to change management procedure when setting up a new set of firewall rules. So change management ensures that any modifications to critical systems like firewall are done in a controlled and documented manner, minimizing the risk of unintended disruptions or security vulnerabilities. It involves processes like reviewing the proposed change, getting necessary approvals, testing the new rules in a control environment, and documenting the change thoroughly. So that's why the correct answer is D, change management procedure. And this is a question. And the question is, which of the following enables the use of an input feed to run commands that can view or manipulate data? Option A, cross-site scripting. Option B, side loading. Option C, buffer overflow. Option D, SQL injection. And the correct answer for this question is option D, SQL injection. So let's check the explanation. So the SQL injection, this is a type of attack that allows an attacker to execute malicious SQL statements to control a database. It involves using input fields to manipulate data and potentially view sensitive information. So that's why the correct answer is option D, SQL injection. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, a company is expanding its threat surface program and allowing individuals to security test the company's internet facing application. The company will compensate researchers based on the vulnerabilities discovered. So which of the following best describes the program the company is setting up? Option A, open source intelligence. Option B, bug boundary. Option C, red team. Option D, penetration testing. And correct answer for this question is option B, bug bounty. And the explanation is, a bug bounty program is a system where a company publicly invites security researchers to find vulnerabilities in their systems and rewards them financially for reporting those vulnerabilities. The key features that aligns with the description in the questions are the open invitation to external researchers, the reward for discovered vulnerabilities, and the focus on finding security weakness. So that's why the correct answer is option B, bug bounty. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, employees in the research and development business unit receives extensive training to ensure they understand how to best protect company data. So which of the following is the type of data these employees are most likely to use in day-to-day work activities? Option A, encrypted. Option B, intellectual property. Option C, critical. Option D, data in transit. And the correct answer for this question is option B, intellectual property. So let's check the explanation. The research and development teams often work with sensitive information like new inventions, designs, formulas, and research findings, so which all fall under the category of intellectual property IP. These teams need extensive training to protect this valuable information from unauthorized access or disclosure. And that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, intellectual property. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following threat actors is the most likely to use large financial resources to attack critical systems located in other countries. Option A, insider. Option B, unskilled attacker. Option C, nation state. Option D, activist. And the correct answer for this question is option C, nation state. So let's check the explanation. So nation states have the resources and motivation to launch large scale, sophisticated cyber attacks against critical infrastructure in other countries, often geopolitical reasons. They often have access to advanced cyber weaponry and large budgets to support their operations. So that's why the correct answer for this question, option C, nation state. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a client asked a security company to provide a document outlining the project, the cost and the completion time frame. So which of the following documents should the company provide to the client? Option A, MSA. Option B, SLA. Option C, BPA. Option D, SOW. So correct answer for this question is option D, SOW, a statement of work. So let's check the explanation. A statement of work is a document the company should provide to the client as it outlines the project details, cost and completion time frame. So statement of work, this document clearly defines the scope, objectives, deliverables, timeline and cost of project, ensuring both the client and the service provider are on the same page regarding expectations. So that's why the correct answer is D, SOW, a statement of work. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a company has begun labeling all laptops with asset inventory stickers and associating them with employees' IDs. So which of the following security benefits do this action provides? So choose two options out of this. So first option is, if a security incident occurs on the device, the correct employee can be notified. The security team will be able to send user awareness training to the appropriate device. Next option is, users can be mapped to their devices when configuring software MFA tokens. Option D, user-based firewall policies can be correctly targeting the appropriate laptops. Option E, when conducting penetrating testing, the security team will be able to target the desired laptops. And the last options, company data can be accounted for when the employees leave the organization. So the correct answer for this question is option A and option F. Option A is, if a security incident occurs on the device, the correct employees can be notified. And the option F is, company data can be accounted for when the employees leaves the organization. So let's check the explanation. So explanation is, if a security incident occurs on the device, the correct employee can be notified by linking the laptop to the employee's ID. The security team can quickly identify the owner and contact them in case of security breach. And next option, company data can be accounted for when the employee leaves the organization. So when an employee departs, the company can easily track down and secure all the data associated with their assigned laptop. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A and option F. So let's move to the next question. And the next question is, a technician wants to improve the situational and environmental awareness of existing users as they transition from remote in-office work. Which of the following is the best option? Option A, send out periodically security reminders. Option B, update the content of new hire documentation. Option C, modify the content of recurring training. Option D, implement a phishing campaign. So let's check the exact answer for this question. So answer is C, modify the content of recurring training. And the explanation is, the recurring training allows for regular updates on security protocols, potential threats, and the best practices relevant to the shift from remote to office environments. So this targeted approach ensures users are well informed about the changing dynamics of their work environment. So that's why the correct answer is C, modify the content of recurring training. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a newly appointed board member with cybersecurity knowledge wants the board of directors to receive a quarterly report detailing the number of incidents that impacted the organization. The systems administrator is the system administrator is creating a way to present the data to the board of directors. So which of the following should the systems administrator use? Option A, packet captures. Option B, vulnerability scans. Option C, metadata. Option D, dashboard. And the correct answer for this question is option D, dashboard. So let's check the explanation. So a dashboard is the best option to present cybersecurity incident data to a board of directors, as it provides a visually appealing and easily digestible summary of the number of incidents, their severity and potential trends over time, making it ideal for high level reporting. So that's why the correct answer is D, dashboard. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following roles according to the shared responsibility model is responsible for securing the company's database in an infrastructure as a service model for a cloud environment? And the options are, first option is client, next option is third party vendor, next option is cloud provider, and the last option is DBA. And the correct answer for this question is option A, client. So let's check the explanation. So in a cloud environment, particularly in an infrastructure as a service model, the shared responsibility model dictates that the cloud provider secures the underlying infrastructure like the physical servers, network, and virtualization layer. However, the client, the organization using the cloud services, is responsible for securing their data, applications, and operating systems running on that infrastructure. So this includes a database, as it is considered an application within the client's virtual environment. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, client. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a system administrator receives the following alert from a file integrity monitoring tool. The hash of the cmd.exe file has changed. The system administrator checks the OS logs and notice that no patches were applied in the last 2 months. So which of the following most likely occurred? Option A, the end user changed the file permissions. Option B, a cryptographic collision was detected. Option C, a snapshot of the file system was taken. And option D, a rootkit was deployed. And the correct answer for this question is option D, a rootkit was deployed. So let's check the explanation. A rootkit is a type of malware designed to hide its presence on a system by modifying critical files and processes, including system utilities like cmd.exe, changing the hash of cmd.exe without a corresponding patch being applied strongly indicates malicious activity by a rootkit. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, a rootkit was deployed. And this is a question. An organization's internet-facing website was compromised when an attacker exploited a buffer overflow. So which of the following should the organization deploy to best protect against similar attacks in the future? Option A, NGFW. Option B, WF. Option C, TLS. Option D, SD-WAN. And the correct answer for this question is option B, WF. So let's check the explanation for this answer. And the explanation is, the best option to protect against buffer overflow attacks in the future is to deploy a web application firewall. And web application firewall functionality is, a web application firewall monitors and filters HTTP traffic to and from web applications, specifically looking for malicious requests that could exploit vulnerabilities like buffer overflows. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, web application firewall, WAF. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following is used to add extra complexity before using a one-way data transformation algorithm? Option A, key stretching. Option B, data masking. Option C, steganography. Option D, salting. And the correct answer for this question is option D, salting. So let's check the explanation for this answer. And the explanation is, salting is a security technique where a random string of character is added to password before hashing it, making rainbow table attacks and other brute force attempts more difficult. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, salting. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, an employee clicked a link and email from a payment website that asks the employee to update contact information. The employee entered the login information but received a page not found error message. So which of the following types of social engineering attacks occurred? Option A, brand impersonation. Option B, pretexting. Option C, typo squatting. And option D, phishing. And the correct answer for this question is option D, phishing. So let's check the explanation. So phishing, this is attacks involve sending fraudulent emails that appears to be from a legitimate source, like a payment website, to trick the user into revealing sensitive information like login credentials. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option D, phishing. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following threat actors is the most likely to be hired by a foreign government to attack critical systems located in other countries? Option A, hacktivist. Option B, whistleblower. Option C, organized crime. Option D, unskilled attacker. And the correct answer for this question is option C, organized crime. So let's check the explanation. So according to cybersecurity experts, the most likely threat actor to be hired by a foreign government to attack critical system is organized crime. So organized crime groups often have the resources, skills and connections to carry out sophisticated attacks and are motivated by financial gain, which can align with the objectives of a foreign government seeking to disrupt critical systems. They can also operate across national borders, making them suitable for cross-border attacks. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option C, organized crime. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, an enterprise is trying to limit outbound DNS traffic originating from its internal network. So outbound DNS requests will only be allowed from one device with IP address 10.50.10.25. So which of the following firewall ACLs will accomplish this goal? So option A, the access list outbound email port 53 access list outbound deny. The IP address is 10.50.10.25/32 port 53. Option B is access list outbound email and IP address is 10.55.32 port 53. The access list outbound by port 53. Option C, access list outbound permit port 53. Access list outbound deny. The IP address is 10.50.10.25.32 port 53. And option D is access list outbound email permit and up port 53 and IP address is 10.50.10.25/32. And access list outbound deny. IP address is 0.0.0 and port 53. And the correct answer for this question is option D, access list outbound permit 10.50.10.25/32 0.0.0/0453 and access list outbound deny 0.0.0/0.0.0/0 port 53. And let's check the explanation. The access list outbound permit 10.50.10.25/32 0.0.0/0 port 53 and access list outbound deny 0.0.0/0 port 53. So access list outbound permit 53, this rule explicitly allows outbound DNS traffic port 53 only from the device with the IP address 10.50.10.25. And access list outbound deny 53, this rule is denies all outbound DNS traffic to any destination except the one specifically permitted in the previous rule, effectively blocking all other DNS requests from the network. That's why the correct answer is D for this question. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a company prevented direct access from the database administrator's workstations to the network segment that contains database servers. So which of the following should a database administrator use to access the database servers? Option A, jump server. Option B, radius. Option C, HSM. Option D, load balancer. And the correct answer for this question is option A, jump server. And the explanation is a database administrator should use a jump server to access the database servers if direct access from their workstation is prevented. So jump server, a secure server that allows users to access other more restricted networks from a less secure network. In this scenario, the database administrator would access the database servers through the jump server, so which is considered a safer intermediary point. So that's why the correct answer is A, jump server. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following scenarios describe the possible business email compromise attack? Option A, an employee receives a gift card request in an email that has executives' names in the display field of the email. Option B, employees who open an email attachment receive message is demanding payment in order to access files. Option C, a service desk employee receives an email from the HR director asking for login credentials to a cloud administrator account. Option D, an employee receives an email with a link to phishing site that is designed to look like the company's email portal. And the correct answer for this question is option C, a service desk employee receives an email from the HR director asking for login credentials to a cloud administrator account. So let's check the explanation. An explanation is the business email compromise BEC attacks often involves attackers impersonating high-level executives or trusted individuals to trick employees into divulging sensitive information. In this scenario, the attacker is posing as a HR director requesting access to a critical cloud administrator account, which could allow them to gain control over sensitive data. So that's why the correct answer is C. A service desk employee receives an email from the HR director asking for login credentials to a cloud administrator account. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, a data administrator is configuring authentication for a SaaS application and would like to reduce the number of credentials employees need to maintain. The company prefers to use domain credential to access new SaaS applications. So which of the following methods would allow this functionality? Option A, SSO. Option B, LIP. Option C, MFA. And option D, PIP. And the correct answer for this question is option A, SSO. So let's check the explanation. So SSO means single sign-on, allows users to authenticate once with their domain credentials and then access multiple applications without needing to log in again for each one, effectively reducing the number of credentials employees need to manage. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, SSO. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, an employee receives a text message that appears to have been sent by the payroll department and is asking for credentials verification. So which of the following social engineering techniques are being attempted? So choose two out of this option. Option A, typo squatting. Option B, phishing. Option C, impersonation. Option D, wishing. Option E, smishing. And option F, misinformation. And the correct answer for this question is option B and option E. B is a phishing and E is a smishing. So let's check the explanation. So phishing, this is a broad term for fraudulent attempts to obtain sensitive information like login credentials or credit card numbers by discussing themselves as a legitimate entry, often through email or text messages. In this scenario, the attacker is using a payroll department's name to trick the employee into providing their credentials. And smishing, this is a specific type of phishing that occurs through SMS messages. The attacker is using a text message to impersonate the payroll department and request sensitive information. So that's why the correct answer is B, phishing, and E, smishing. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, an administrator notices that several users are logging from suspicious IP addresses after speaking with the users. The administrator determines that employees were not logging in from those IP addresses and resets affected users' passwords. So which of the following should the administrator implement to prevent this type of attack from succeeding in the future? Option A, multi-factor authentication. Option B, permissions assignment. Option C, access management. Option D, password complexity. And the correct answer for this question is option A, multi-factor authentication. So let's check the explanation. So multi-factor authentication MFA requires users to provide not only their passwords but also a second form of identification, like a code sent to their phone or fingerprint scan when logging in from a new device or an unfamiliar location. This added layer of security significantly reduces the risk of unauthorized access even if a password is compromised. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option A, multi-factor authentication. And this is a question. A security team is reviewing the findings in a report that was delivered after a third party performed a penetration test. So one of the findings indicated that a web application form field is vulnerable to cross-site scripting. So which of the following application security techniques should the security analyst recommend a developer implement to prevent this vulnerability? Option A, secure cookies. Option B, version control. Option C, input validation. Option D, code signing. And the correct answer for this question is option C, input validation. So let's check the explanation for this question. So input validation is the correct application security technique to recommend the developer implement to prevent cross-site scripting XSS vulnerability. Input validation, this techniques involves checking user input for malicious or invalid data before processing it. By validating input, the application can filter out harmful code or character that would be used in XSS attacks. So let's move to the next question. And the next question is, which of the following must be considered when designing a high availability network? Choose two out of these options. Option A, easy of recovery. Option B, ability to patch. Option C, physical isolation. Option D, responsiveness. Option E, attack surface. Option F, extensible authentication. And the correct answer for this question is option A and D. So when designing a high availability network, the two key considerations are easy of recovery and responsiveness. So easy of recovery, high availability networks need to be able to quickly recover from failures to minimize downtime. So which includes having redundancy, failure mechanism, and proper disaster recovery plans in places. And responsiveness, the network must be able to handle high traffic loads and respond quickly to user requests to maintain continuous operation. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, a technician needs to apply a high priority patch to production system. So which of the following steps should be taken first? Option A, air gap the system. Option B, move the system to a different network segment. Option C, create a change control request. Or option D, apply the patch to the system. And the correct answer for this question is create a change control request. So let's check the explanation. And the explanation is, before making any changes to a production system, especially a high priority patch, it's crucial to follow proper change management procedures by creating a change control request. This ensures the change is documented, accessed for its potential impact, and approved by relevant stakeholders, minimize the risk of unattended consequences. So that's why the correct answer is C, create a change control request. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following describes the reason root cause analysis should be conducted as part of incident response? Option A, to gather IOCs for the investigation. Option B, to discover which system have been affected. Option C, to eradicate any trace of malware on the network. Option D, to prevent future incidents of the same nature. And the correct answer for this question is option D, to prevent future incidents of the same nature. So let's check the explanation. So the root cause analysis is conducted during incident response primarily to prevent future incidents of the same nature by identifying and addressing the underlying causes of the problem rather than just treating symptoms. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following is the most likely outcome if a large bank fails an internal PCI DCS compliance assessment? Option A, fines. Option B, audit findings. Option C, sanctions. Option D, reputation damage. And the correct answer for this question is option B, audit findings. So let's check the explanation. So an internal PCS DCS compliance assessment is a self-evaluation conducted by the bank itself to assess their adherence to the payment card industry data security standard. If the bank fails the assessment, the immediate consequence is the identification of audit findings, which are documented areas of non-compliance that the bank needs to be addressed. So that's why the correct answer for this question is option B, audit findings. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, a company is developing a business continuity strategy and needs to determine how many staff members would be required to sustain the business in the case of disruption. So which of the following best describe this stream? Option A, capacity planning. Option B, redundancy. Option C, geographic dispersion. Option D, tabletop exercise. And the correct answer for this question is option A, capacity planning. So let's check the explanation for this answer. And the explanation is, capacity planning involves determining the necessary resources, including staff, to maintain critical operation during a disruption. This step is crucial for ensuring the business can continue functioning at a minimum level even when faced with challenges. So that's why the correct answer is A, capacity planning. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, the company's legal department drafted sensitive documents in a SaaS application and wants to ensure the documents cannot be accessed by individuals in high-risk countries. So which of the following is the most effective way to limit this access? Option A, data masking. Option B, encryption. Option C, geolocation policy. Option D, data sovereignty regulation. And the correct answer for this question is option C, geolocation policy. And let's check the explanation for this answer. So this policy allows administrators to restrict access based on the user's geographical location, effectively blocking users from high-risk countries. So that's why the correct answer is C. So let's move to the next question. And the next question is, which of the following is a hardware-specific vulnerability? Option A, firmware version. Option B, buffer overflow. Option C, SQL injection. Option D, cross-site scripting. And the correct answer for this question is option A, firmware version. Firmware version is a type of software that provides low-level control for specific hardware components. Vulnerabilities in a firmware, such as outdated or insecure versions, directly impact the security and functionality of the hardware itself. These vulnerabilities are instinctively tied to the hardware they control. So that's why the correct answer is A, firmware version. So let's move to the next question. So the next question is, while troubleshooting a firewall configuration, a technician determines that a deny any policy should be added to the bottom of the ACL. The technician updates the policy, but the new policy causes several company servers to become unreachable. So which of the following actions would prevent this issue? Option A, documenting the new policy in a change request and submitting the request to change management. Option B, testing the policy in a non-production environment before enabling the policy in the production network. Option C, disabling any instruction prevention signatures on the deny any policy prior to enabling the new policy, including an allow any policy above the deny any policy. And the correct answer for this question is testing the policy in a non-production environment before enabling the policy in the production network. So let's check the explanation. A deny any policy at the bottom of an ACL effectively blocks all traffic that doesn't match your previous rules, essentially acting as a catch-all. Placing this policy without testing it in a separate environment could lead to unattended consequences like server inaccessibility, as any traffic not explicitly allowed by the proceeding rules would be denied. Testing in a non-production environment, a copy of the production network where changes can be safely tested without affecting real users. Allow the technicians to identify and fix any issues before implementing the policy in the live environment. So that's why the correct answer is B. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, an organization is building a new backup data center with cost benefit as the primary requirement and RTO and RPO values around two ways. So which of the following types of sites is the best for this scenario? Option A, real-time recovery. Option B, hot. Option C, cold. Option D, warm. And the correct answer for this question is option C, cold. So let's check the explanation. For an organization prioritizing cost benefit with RTO and RPO around 2 days, a cold site is the best option. So cold site, this is the most cost effective backup solution as it only provides the necessary infrastructure like space and power, but lacks pre-configured hardware, software and active data replications. Since the RTO and RPO are around 2 days, the organizations can afford to set up the cold site and restore data within that time frame. So that's why the correct answer is C, cold. So I hope you're enjoying this video and this part has been completed. So study hard, good luck and thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe the channel to see more video like this. I will upload next part shortly. Thanks for watching. Thank you.